So if you look at the channel, you can kind of see how there's like huge gaps in between videos, and the topics are never really consistent. It kind of changes over the years. And I kind of just wanted to look back and do a retrospective of all the stuff that I used to make leading up to where I am now, and kind of like what was happening in my life while these videos were being made. If you've been on YouTube for a while, you know that in the beginning, it was kind of the Wild West. You could kind of just post whatever you wanted, just uploading full songs of other people's stuff and not worry about copyright stuff. So because of that, I've had a lot of different YouTube channels that were taken down or put back up for various copyright reasons, because I was just making dumb stuff when I was a kid. So I'm just gonna be walking through each of these YouTube channels and match it up to what I was kind of doing during that time. So my first channel was during the MySpace era. It was 17 years ago is when I started making videos. And it was a lot of just like playing Guitar Hero and Rock Band with my brother and my friends. And I was really inspired by I Am Christopher Life and the other Guitar Hero YouTubers at the time. So I had these little, the digital cameras, and they had like a video function. So I would just kind of set it up somewhere, pointed at the TV, and I would just play Guitar Hero while I was recording. And through that, I would be learning from my dad about different ways to do things. Like I learned how to capture video from the TV and not just like point a digital camera at it. And then I also started experimenting with different things, like putting an overlay of me playing Guitar Hero. So you can kind of start seeing in this portfolio of stuff little things I start to experiment with and just try to figure out what my voice is creatively. I start to do little skits and messing with different pieces of software, because my dad would help get me stuff like Adobe After Effects and Adobe Premiere. So I started experimenting with editing and, you know, doing little fun effects here and there. And I was always filming wherever I went. So I would do things when I was traveling with my family, like to Colorado and Vietnam. So for a little bit more context, I started playing piano when I was in kindergarten. And because of that, I had a really strong foundation of music throughout my life. So as I kind of got older and from Guitar Hero, I learned how to play guitar and drums, like from Rock Band. And I started doing a lot more covers, like acoustic guitar covers, and singing with my friends and doing talent shows. And all of this was during like middle school and high school era of just, again, finding my voice and finding the things I really cared about. So after that channel got disabled because of copyright, I had to make another one, and this was at the middle to end of high school. And this is leading from messing around with my friends, playing Guitar Hero, playing video games, just doing random stuff. And, you know, at the end of high school, when you're really trying to figure out who you are, what you want to do with your life, a lot of this new channel was just experimentation and trying to figure out what career I wanted to pursue. So I love film, and I still love film. And this was the era in which I really got into movies. So I would test it out like, hey, maybe I want to make movies for a living. So I made like skits for school. Like, for example, school projects, we didn't have to make videos, but I would often ask the teachers like, hey, what if I delivered the assignment in the form of a video? So I would do that kind of stuff, and it was so much fun continuing to expand my skills in editing and shooting. At the end of high school, I start taking the idea of making movies a lot more seriously. So my parents sent me to a summer program in New York for the New York Film Academy to just work on a short film. So that was a really enlightening experience, and I grew a lot from that. Around this time, I actually go to college and I did computer science because I felt like that was like the most stable industry at the time. But even though the major was really technical, I couldn't like suppress my extreme creative need to make stuff. So I still made a whole bunch of covers and continued to experiment with different things, like doing a lot of videos for other people. So around this time, I also played with the idea of, oh, do I want to be an editor when I grow up? So I started to just like talk to my friends of like, hey, if you want someone to edit your stuff, I will help you edit your stuff. I also, got hired by some local businesses to make commercials and make videos for them. Around the end of undergrad, I was really inspired by all the video essayists that started coming up, like Nerdwriter, and I wanted to make my own, and that's why I created the Right Brain Rants channel that you're watching this on now. I was thinking like, if I can analyze things and explain the way I feel about things, then I will be better at making things when I pursue a creative medium in the future. So you can kind of see in the beginning of the channel, a lot of it is scattershot. I talk about art, I talk about games, I talk about movies, I talk about rap music, I talk about just the things that I care about and love. At the end of my undergrad, that's the come to Jesus moment where I really had to actually decide what I wanted to do for a living. When I kind of figured out that I wanted to make video games, when I decided that, it was basically like all other hobbies are shed away. Around this time, it was full force trying to make video games and just trying to get a job and getting my foot in the door. So that's why the videos basically just kind of fell off in how much I was uploading and how much I was making. Eventually, I published my thesis project for grad school, which is a game I'm extremely proud of still, called Clawface, and then entered the games industry with a whole bunch of awesome teams and mobile games and these little robots called Cosmo and Vector. That got me into the games industry, but it was still a lot of figuring out what I actually wanted to do, even within the game industry, even within game design. So after a lot of pondering and a lot of help from mentors and a lot of experience in the games industry, I figured out that I wanted to focus on combat design. And that's why you start seeing a lot more stuff about mechanics and tactical mechanics and Doom. This was me just like going, again, all in on, I want to become a combat designer. I'm super lucky because eventually I did become a combat designer after applying and working really hard at it. I got to Respawn and worked on Star Wars Jedi Survivor. And then after that, Wolverine at Insomniac. I started to get that itch again to make stuff that wasn't video games. So as you can kind of see, I just start randomly doing stuff that I'm interested in. Like, oh, I'm just gonna upload how I got into comics. Or I'm just gonna talk about Marvel because I'm really into Marvel right now. And eventually I did make one more YouTube channel specifically for combat design references. So you can see that here. And it's basically just me going through all the combat games that I love and just analyzing all the enemy behaviors and the enemy design just by watching them in all these various games and recording the references for them. And doing this right now has been really great on this channel because I get to think about other stuff and I get to practice my skills in how to talk to the camera and how to kind of like on the fly come up with a semi-cohesive script without an outline and without thinking about it too much. This has been really fun and I hope to keep doing it. And yeah, I hope you kind of enjoyed walking down memory lane with me. It's been really cool to kind of go back and see where I started from creatively and where I eventually am now. And yeah, thank you for watching and see you later. Peace.